Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the match preview for West Brom at home, and it's a weird one, isn't it? Because this is such a big game. I mean, you think about, we've got a lot of big games coming up, but this is such an important game. You know, a win against these, and it really does put us in the driving seat for the potential. You know, I know, but it puts us in the driving seat for that 7th position, which could get us the Europa League. So it's an absolute must-win.
Yeah, I mean, the Tottenham game is big for different reasons. This is the proverbial 6-pointer, isn't it? You know, it can be either 7 points, or it could be down to 1 point if they were to win. You know, we can beat these, put ourselves in a commanding position. We've got tough away games. I was looking at their fixtures, as you do, and they've got some tough games to play as well. So it really could hinge on Saturday. I mean, there's a nice gap now below West Brom.
Yeah.
You know,
not really worried too much about that now.
So we can just keep churning the home wins out. Beat these Saturday, and I think we are in.
Yeah, 7 point. I mean, you'd like to think a 7-point gap between us and these would be, you know, enough. We're both going to win games. We're both going to lose games. Let's be honest. We know where we are in the why we are and where we are in the league. But it's just strange, isn't it? Because it's strange that they're doing so well. I mean, they've got decent players, but I think what's happened is, you know, Tony Pulis, after a bit of, you know, he went in there to sort of save them from relegation. He's organised them. He had a bit of a, you know, he seems to have a bit of sticky patch with the last owner, but now the new owners are in. Okay, he hasn't been able to attract the players he wants. Okay, so they wanted like Sneijder in there and stuff. They're not at that kind of position where they can do that yet. But he's organised them really well, and without sort of having a goal scorer like we've got, they've done really. I think, is it Gareth McCauley? He's
7 goals.
Their top goal scorer. They do score a lot of goals from set pieces, but they're very organised, and they're also one of those teams. It's weird, they remind me a little bit of Leicester early on last season, when they can go behind, but it doesn't get them down. They can turn it around very quickly. I mean, you know, they beat Bournemouth a few weeks ago and they were 1-0 down at quite early, but no one didn't seem like they panicked. They just kept on playing and got on with it, and there's no expectations there. So I think in a way that helps, because they just go with the flow. But obviously the last game out they got beat by Crystal Palace at home. Again, another very organised side, and they seem to get hit on the break. So maybe that's something that we've got going for us this week, because they are going to be very organised. They're going to be very good on set pieces. They're going to be tough to break down. So it is a really, really tough game.
Every time you play a Pulis side, it's a tough game. You know, they came down to Goodison last season and beat us with off a corner coming round and headed it in, didn't he? And we couldn't find a way back in the game. You know, I think it was I put the thing up. I think it was like 34 attempts to 1 they had, and they beat us 1-0.
Yeah.
So it shows, you know, the year before it was the Morales pen debacle. You know, it was 0-0. So they are resolute. They're well organised, as you'd expect. Pulis. They played a bit more football this year, been a bit more expansive, hence why they've done so well. But again, first goal is key, isn't it? Because if we get ahead, they have to come out, and then we can pick them off then.
Do you think, though, they have to come out anyway? Or do you think they'll set up just trying to nick one, or, you know, try to get a point but try and nick one? Because if you're looking from their point of view, they have ambitions, surely, of getting that 7th place as well, because it has opened up. It could be Europa League football next season, you know, and they'll be thinking, well, we want that 7th place, but, you know, if we draw with them, it's still 4 points, and or do you think they'll be thinking, well, it's still 4 points and there's still plenty of games left?
Yeah, it's a tough game, isn't it? You go away and you think, I was looking at the Spurs game Sunday. It's like, you go away, get a point, you know, it's a good result, they're a good side, get out of it onto your next game. And I think they'll be looking at that and thinking, like, Everton away, tough place to go. Everton doing well, yes, they're right by us, but we get out of here, it's a point, and we just keep going and try to catch them other ways. Of course, if they can nick the game, it's great, but I don't think they're going to come and chase the game, because why would? It's not like it's for the league.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that it was the radio, I was listening on the radio the other day, and I think They were talking, Chris Brunt was on, he was talking about the most points they've ever had in the Premier League. I think it's 49 points. They've never broken the 50-point barrier, and they're on 40 at the moment, so you're saying, so that's our target. We're on 44. I'm expecting us to break the 60-point barrier. That's my target for Everton, and I'm expecting, to be honest, I'm expecting mid-60s with the games we've got left. They're hoping to break the 50-point barrier, so they get out with a point, they'll be quite happy. They'll win home games. There's home games they've got that they'll win. You know, and I think they'll be looking at this thinking, okay, we've had a disappointing result at home to Palace. Get back to Everton, be nice and resolute, get out with a point. Everything's still to play for. We're the ones that are saying it's a home game for us. We've just lost to Tottenham. We need to start our run again now. We've got West Brom at home, and it's a great opportunity for us to put daylight between us.
Do you think
we've got back-to-back home games?
Yeah, we have,
and we need 6 points.
And on paper, we should be winning both of them. I mean, football's not played on paper, but it's an odd one as well. It's sort of why I not cringe at the fact, but people will be going, well, you shouldn't be trying to be looking for 7th place. But for me, 7th is the minimum, is the absolute minimum for us this season. When I look at the other teams and I look at what is above us,
we've just had back-to-back 11th places, and if we win on Saturday, we've equalled our points total for the last 2 seasons. So in March, so that kind of tells you that we were 11th. It's all about progression. He's come in this season, you know, and if we finish 7th, that's 4 places better than 11th. So we're going in the right direction.
But it's also,
and if it's Europa League,
which is what he said, he wanted European football. But I think as well, you're right. You'd have to be realistic. But at the same time, we're only going to catch those teams above us if we win our games. So it's not. Do you know what I mean? Of course. So, but you know, again, this weekend, Man United are playing in the Cup, aren't they? So they haven't got a game this week.
2 games.
So it's a case of that we've got to get the 3 points to close that gap again. Do you know what I mean? And just create that illusion, whether it's, you know, whether there are 2 games in hand or not. Just create that illusion with still having to play them as well. You know, create that illusion that we can catch them.
It's chasing them. It's like these are doing to us. You're winning games, and the next minute these are right behind you. United, although they're looking up, they will still be looking at us and going, Everton are closer. You know, we win Saturday, it's 2 points a game, isn't it? We'd be on 40, they're on 49. So it's back to 2 points. They'll be looking, now alright, it's great going, got 2 games in hand, but they will be looking at that league table and going, Everton are on 40.
They've got to win those games, and Zlatan's just been banned for 3 matches.
That's what I mean. So all of a sudden, they'll be looking and going, well, these are right by us, as we'd be right by, you know, Liverpool at home Sunday, only just there first time.
I know, it's 2 home
for
games.
A while, both teams are at home. They've got Burnley. Yes, they should beat Burnley, but in typical Liverpool fashion. No, but they're only on 52.
No, but the way I'm looking at it is,
so it pulls everybody tight.
I'm just looking at the next one up and then trying to catch them and then trying
I'm just saying it pulls everybody. But take Spurs out of it. They're on 56, right, and we're, you know, they're 12 points ahead of us. That's much too much. But the others are like 52, like Arsenal, and you're thinking, well, if we've got 47. 5 points, they've got to win. If they win, you carry on, but all we can do is our job, and our job is to win our
But it's important as well, because the way we're talking about this game, while those teams are, I mean, I don't know whether it affects the players or the manager, but as fans, while there is someone just sort of breathing down your neck, you are looking over your shoulder at the same time as trying to look up. And if we can make Man United feel the same way,
exactly,
like they'll be looking up and thinking, can we get top 4? But then they'll be thinking, oof, hang on. And you've seen that from Liverpool fans recently as well. Before the win on at the weekend, they were starting to get a little bit like that. We've started to ruffle a few feathers. Everything we did, and I said this in December, people laughed it off, and I still adamant that they are terrified of us. Don't give them monkeys. Don't give them monkeys what anyone says. People are like, no, that's nonsense. They're terrified of us. I don't care less. They've started talking a lot about us recently. They're absolutely terrified of what happens if we get that dock and Macheri and all the rest of it. But regardless of that, they're looking over the shoulder a little bit. You've noticed that recently. People saying to me at the weekend, the atmosphere at the Arsenal game was dead weird, because it was relief more than elation that they'd won. And that's what I'm saying. That's the feeling we've got to get. We've got to get into those players and those fans' head. And it'll be sort of the same with this game. If we can just create that little bit of distance between us and them, because like you said, 9th place, not even asked about now. They're not
about 8th place. We're 11 points ahead of 8th place, so...
No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're 7th. West Brom at 8th.
9th, sorry, you're right. I'm in 6th already, you see. I'm already in 6th. Oh, but if we win Saturday...
But that's what I'm saying. If we win Saturday, then for us as fans, that sort of... Like, I texted you, didn't I, Saturday? I was like, Palace have won. Like, I was made up, because it almost took, in a weird way, the pressure off the Tottenham game for us as fans. Because we knew it was a tough game, but if these had won, it would have been like a point, and then you're going, fucking hell, playing with the weekend. They could go above us. But if now that we've got 4 points, if we beat them, that gives us the 7, and you start thinking, alright, it's 7 points, there's still plenty of game, but you start thinking, I can sort of look a little bit away from that now and start looking up. And that's why this is like, how many times last season will be those key games, and every time we cocked it up. Start with Bournemouth away was the first one, and every time we cocked it up. Now if we can get through this, get the 3 points, get that 7 point gap, then I can start thinking to myself, and you'll start thinking other fans, right, let's catch them now, let's catch them, and let's go to Old Trafford. When we go to Old Trafford and think, right, 3 points at Old Trafford, it's different. Do you know what I mean? Then you are thinking, tonight actually, the manager can throw everything at this, because it's all or nothing, in a way.
I was thinking this at Christmas, when people were telling me the Leicester game was over. No, but if you just looked at it very quickly, and you just went, if we won Saturday, Liverpool play Sunday, right? And then all of a sudden, there's only 5 points in that, yeah? Say they were to draw with Burnley, which isn't beyond the realms of, you know, then that'd only be 6 points. The week later, we're at home to Hull and they go to Stoke.
Yeah.
So, you know, in their minds, they could be looking, going, hang on, you know, this could be 3 points again. You know, with us going to Anfield, which is terrible. And so, I'm not focusing on Liverpool, but I'm just saying that they're still in the mix.
Yeah.
You know, and while that's happening, United, like you said, we've got them in a few weeks. You've got to win these games. All this talk becomes irrelevant if Everton go out and fail to beat these, of course it does. But the fight is on. The first fight is against these. And if we win Saturday, it's 7 points. These are dangerous, but it's a big game for us and we've got to win it.
Yeah. Let's just beat these, get that little bit of a comfort.
And then beat Hull.
But we've got to be very positive in this game, haven't we? Obviously we've got to watch our backs, because they've proved in the last few weeks. These are actually good on the counter-attack as well. Yeah, you know, before we say that they move the ball really well going forward. They're really well organised. But I think Saturday showed against Palace, if you're organised back, if you can be organised at the back, then
play 3 at the back.
If you're organised, you can snuff them out.
Yeah.
And you know, as I say, Palace are not a great side, but they went to their gaff and beat them 2-0. So beat these Saturday, and let's start looking up the table, and let's start looking, rather than that look over our shoulders, and be a little bit confident, a bit more confident, puff out our chest and say, right, we can go the right way. Because as I say, Europa League for us next season, it's massive. It's massive. You're attract huge. You're attract a little bit. You know, you can attract those few more players, and let's be honest, you can get to the Champions League if you win it. I know that's a mad thing to say, because there's a lot of good teams in it, but finishing fourth ain't easy. It ain't easy. And for as much as people say, oh, it's such a long tournament, do you know what's a longer tournament? The Premier League. Yeah. That's a longer tournament.
And with arguably tougher teams, isn't it?
Yeah, and then we can build a squad. I know we've said this before. Then we can build a squad where you can go Thursday night, one team, Sunday, another team.
Build a squad, and then we'll win fucking everything.
Didn't think Baz was going to break the swear embargo, but he just did.
Just because.
Done it.
I've done it. Just because I'm hungry.
Anyway, there you go. Thanks very much. Tell us what you think about this game. We know it's going to be tough. What do we need to win the game? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching Toffee TV. We'll see you later.